The best cough medicine. Dr. Carp interviews university fellow. Ooh, kind of like a cool. Let's watch Alex Carp. Let's watch Dr. Carp. Not Alex Carp, Dr. Carp. Interview some young men. Let's watch this Jewish guy interview some young men.
You want the coat or without the coat?
You tell me. Formal or casual?
I think the coat's going to be more charismatic, but no, take the without the coat. Actually, let's do without the coat. Okay, tell me about yourself.
I'm Akhilesh.
Bro, it's so freaky, dude. These people are so freaks, for weird freaks, bro.
I grew up in India, go to school in Iowa, study
I grew up in India.
To school in Iowa.
Iowa State, Ames.
Good.
It's a suburban town.
Yeah, I know Ames. Yeah. And what did you learn? What did you learn there? What do you study?
I'm a double major in math and CS with a minor in aerospace.
I'm Ethan, and I went to Middlebury College, a community college, and Michigan.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So how did you go from
Yeah, dude.
Middlebury, a language school, then to community college? Did you get like kicked out?
When I went to Middlebury, COVID hit,
Bro, this is America. This is what America is now. That's crazy.
and I decided to transition to community college, which was actually my favorite educational experience I ever had.
Why is this being
I
uploaded?
got to work with 40, 50-year-old mothers going back to school. I got to work with people.
It's such a freaky vibe, dude. What a freaky. There's something so off. Something so freaky about this. Something weird. I don't understand what it is. It feels like it's like a slave owner talking to slaves.
People who were of all walks of life. And I feel that in the education
Our best fit scare niggas.
we put a lot of emphasis on prestige and precociousness. And I think that's a mistake.
What surprises you about Palantir?
I think I thought I knew a lot about Palantir before coming in, and to see that it's actually true and implemented on the everyday.
So what is true on the everyday?
I feel like how we do things is just very unique and different to anything I've ever experienced. I've worked in like big tech before, but this is just a completely new way of giving people responsibility of solving problems.
I mean, there's no oversight except from people in your team, right? The only people who are telling you whether you're doing a good job or a bad job are people who are directly proximate to the problems and the challenges you're facing, which makes sense. I think a lot of the time in traditional hierarchy, someone doesn't actually see what you're doing, and yet they're still telling you whether you're doing a good job or a bad job.
I think that my background in jazz music and improvisation and not being like trapped into a single box, I think that's somewhere that I've really enjoyed getting to be able to do on my team, but ultimately your team has to give you the platform to let you do that.
What is something technical you learned that you've applied here?
I've worked on optimization problems. I've worked on building full stack applications. I've worked on boot camps where we're writing linear solver models within a week. So it's very, very different things, but then all of that in this one internship.
I feel like the unsexiest technical problems have been the most interesting, personally. Also,
Dude, if you don't realize it's fake, if you don't realize Palantir is fake, if you don't realize it's like it's a government work program for Jews and unlimited money to give to like people to push. This is how it works. Okay, look. I'm gonna red pill you here on something. You have the government, right? You have people. They give the government infinite money, right? Well, the government gets infinite money from the Fed, and then the work subsidize it. But we'll pretend from tax dollars, it gets the government infinite money, right? The money from the government then gets given to Jews through like Palantir, right? Palantir gets infinite money from the government, and then Palantir gives Peter Thiel infinite money, right? And then Peter Thiel gives $150,000 to people on Twitter, pays for Sovereign House, pays for tweeters, pays for Andrew Torba, and pays for retarded people You know, because he has infinite money, and now you have all these goyim slaves getting like middle class salaries to be like soulless garbage automaton. It's literally just that. That's how Palantir works, right? Palantir doesn't work by actually being AI magic. Palantir works by giving Peter Thiel infinite money to then bribe podcasters and bribe Twitter users and give money, infinite money. It's the same thing with Bill Ackman. You give infinite money to like goyim slaves to be retarded, and then they just will just attack people. They'll just attack people so they can get their 150,000 like neat bucks to be retards on the internet. And then then you have these people attacking people like Nick or Beardson. Chris Brunette is now attacking Beardson because he's getting the Thiel bucks. That's how it works, all right? It's not actually that, like, the power is not actually the AI and the technology. Look, okay. Do you honestly think they're doing real work, dude? Look at their employees, bro. It's government contracts. It's grift, all right? It's just infinite money given to them to then bribe people in like Sovereign House, in University of Austin, New York City, online, and just give them money to be their slaves. And that's it. Once again, the only thing that has value is stuff that can't be bought because they have infinite money. Money's not backed by gold. Money's not backed by anything. And so really, at the end of the day, the only things that have value are stuff like friendship, wisdom, genetics, DNA, friendship, honor, dignity, integrity, loyalty. That's the stuff that really has value because that stuff can't be purchased. You don't have a price on that. Anything that has a price on it, like a couch or a TV or a car or a house or land, all that stuff that can be purchased with money is worthless. Because it's literally it's worthless to them because they have infinite money. They can just purchase it. Anything that can be purchased is worthless. Anything that can't be purchased, now it has intrinsic value because it has the value that it has. It can't, you have to earn it one way or another. And so if it's locked away, and you have to do specific things that are work related to get it, whether it's like be a good friend or be trustworthy or be honest or sweat, or it's like this, my boxing, they're doing boxing, right? I'm not great at it, but it has value because I can't purchase it, or I can't purchase the skills to get good at boxing. I can't purchase the skills to be fit and healthy. I can't purchase the skills to have good organs and good cardio and good flexibility and good core strength. I have to actually work to get it. It's the same thing for anybody, right? Whereas if we could just buy it, then it's worthless because anybody can buy it, right? And people who have infinite money, like Alex Karp or Peter Thiel or Elon Musk, because they're part of the deep state, they literally can just purchase whatever they want, dude. Anything that's purchasable is worthless. If your words, if you can get paid $50,000 to do it, your words are worthless. A good example is who's that British guy who did UKIP or Brexit? What's his name? He has a cameo, and for $50, you can purchase, him saying anything. Yeah, Nigel Farage, for $50, you can make him say anything on Cameo, and so he's a whore, right? He's literally just a whore. So you can make him say anything for $50. It's just worthless. Anything he says is worthless because literally for $50 you can make him say anything. It's that sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Data migration. Sometimes it's just
anything that can be purchased for money.
Data cleaning
is cheap. It's not worthless, right? So for us, it's not worthless, right? A car is not worthless. Land is not worthless. A business is not worthless. But anything that they can purchase for money is worthless because it just means you just dance. It's for free. Because for them, their money is not real. Money is a fake thing. Money is a fake thing. It's literally just an illusion. It's fake. For them, it's worthless. Getting people to do things has the value. And you can trade worthless like coins that are not worth anything, that you have an infinite amount of, for people to do things. Now you've gotten something for free, right? And at the expense of their dignity.
That made it impossible for data to be even utilized. So obviously we're doing like a lot of progress in AI and all these fields, but I also think it's really interesting to think about.
Well, the AI won't work unless the data stack is integrated. So it's a lot. Exactly. When people say that AI doesn't work, it's often because the underlying software doesn't work.
Yeah. So helping our clients just be able to leverage.
Yeah, true value is lunar, but people don't get it. People don't understand yet. They want that money. People hop at it. The latest one to do it is I forget his name. Let me see if I can find it. There's this huge blackpilling account. Let me see if I can find it. That reactivated recently. This huge blackpilling account. He was like just posting back in 2018, 2019. He'd always just post about how life sucks and we were all doomed. And then he'd post a chart. We're headed for a collapse. We're headed for a collapse. Blah blah blah. And now it's just making excuses for the Trump campaign. And it's like, dude, okay, I'm happy. I'm happy that you didn't it didn't kill yourself. I'm happy that you're not a black pillar now. But it's just desperate. It's just desperate. You know what I mean? It's just like another person who sold out. And it's okay to sell out, but it's just like you don't have any awareness. Like Tim Dillon, I like, and he sold out. Tim Dillon is having JD Vance on. He had Moldbug on. He just sold out. He's basically just doing fake business. But his whole thing is fake business.
Joe Indian sent $5. So buy, sell, or hold PLT.
I would say don't do any of it. You know, I don't have anything against it. You probably could make money on it, but the more you get tied up with them, the more the more subconsciously you want them to succeed, right? You know, the more subconsciously you want them to succeed. I would say don't have anything to do with it. Don't short, don't buy. You know, you kind of want to. It's like Stefan Molyneux says, you want to defoo from it. You know what I mean? You kind of want to be around. You know, just separate from it. So you're not too caught up with it, and you're not too invested in it one way or another. Now you could. I mean, honestly, you could, but it's better if you don't. It's better if you don't. Involve yourself too much with this stuff. Honestly, for your own personal, or maybe that's just me projecting, but for my own personal thing, I try not to involve myself with it too much either way. I would just purchase Bitcoin. Bitcoin sound money.
In the first place, I think is really interesting.
Is it okay if I ask you a question?
ChatGPT is down. It's over.
One question.
There goes my chat bots. There goes half my audience.
And this is we're going to stop.
How do you think, coming from a background in philosophy, helped you lead a company today? And why do you think it makes you different than maybe someone that comes from just a purely technical background?
I tend to think the value that, for better or worse, I brought to Palantir is a combination of a moral frame with a certain level of rigor. So one of the reasons I've been so critical of things on college campuses is like leaving them.
Yeah, I've been so critical of these people anti-Israel for some reason. I think the reason I'm so anti-Israel people is not that I'm Jewish. I think it's because I did philosophy, and so I hate anti-Semitism. The reason I'm so against the college campus protests in favor of Palestine is not that I'm Jewish. It's because I did philosophy.
And the morality aside, the rigor, it's like you need to understand the contradictions in your system, and then building an operational culture that is in unison with that, so that you attract and retain basically people who want to, want to become better versions of themselves. How do you become a better version of yourself? You identify what is actually uniquely valuable. You learn how to use that skill in the context of a platform, software and cultural, where your unique value shines and lifts the whole platform because of the enormous strength of your rare talent integrated into, to use your terms, jazz terms, an ensemble. And one of the crazy things about Palantir is like the Palantir degree currently is the most valuable degree in the US, bar none. And that, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, that was not the case. It is the case now.
100 years ago, the Palantir degree was not the most valuable because Palantir didn't even exist. Now, a Palantir degree is like worth its weight in gold, and it's weightless. AI for hospitals.
The work we've done, whether it's like determining eligibility for hospital at home at Mount Sinai, or some of the work we're doing with Tampa General around sepsis, it really boils down to like understanding.
Is this guy hired because he's smart, or was he hired because they had gay sex with him? You decide. You decide, is this guy hired to do work, or was he hired because he had gay sex with Alex Karp?
Understanding these pretty complex sets of rules across the healthcare system, and then transforming those into a way.
Yes, I saw that, Jeffy. Very funny, dude. I saw that, Jeffy.
Against the like unstructured and semi-structured patient data.
Bro looks like Darren Beatty.
Say, okay, this patient meets this particular eligibility for hospital at home, or concern for sepsis, or Keytruda from a reimbursement perspective on the back end. And there's a real like heterogeneity problem in healthcare where you can't represent every.
You know the freaky thing about healthcare is you don't need it. This is legit the freaky part about healthcare. It should be, with you have all the information, we have all the technology and all the tools. It literally shouldn't exist. Healthcare shouldn't exist at all. It should literally just be like people in your town. Like one guy has a machine that can do an X-ray, and he just like is the X-ray guy. And then another guy like knows about herbs and medicines. And then another guy knows about like medicines and can order them online, like for like actual medications. And then some person can set bones. And it's all just literally that's all it should be. You know, it's just to be like localized stuff, and there should be no such thing as healthcare at all. Do you have health insurance? Yeah, I have Medicaid. I have Obamacare.
Every possible combination of
Like
circumstances.
why, dude? Why there shouldn't be no such thing as health? There's no need, and there should be like a woman who helps you give birth. All right, there should be a woman who like is like a local towns lady who like comes to your house when your wife's giving birth, and she just helps you hold your wife's hand, and your wife gives birth, and your wife should give birth in a field. You know what I mean? And, you know, she should just hold your wife's hand in the field as she's squatting and she gives birth to the child. And that's, you know, you don't need anything more, bro. You literally don't need anything. There's no more healthcare. You don't need healthcare, dude.
In the EMR, that's when large
like, why do you need help for what, bro? What do you need healthcare for? Be healthy.
And AI became very useful, where like a little bit of machine reasoning goes a long way to avoid the need to codify each individual node within the
yeah, something like a community.
And I think like creating this like immense amount of like structure and like the network connecting the guideline to the particular part of the chart that's used to trigger the guideline is the thing that allows us to like operationalize these large language models. And historically, the medical record has had a monopoly at the point of care, and it's like almost like heresy to suggest any other software should be involved. But I think as we move forward and as we like understand like how we can deploy AI into reimagining some of these workflows, I think could you at the same time have the clinical evaluation, which we showed in that like Keytruda example, right next to the billing example, and it's getting very specific about the work that needs to get done, based on not just like the
well, yeah, it's just fake, dude. There should people just pay money and they shouldn't have any insurance. Now that's kind of a chud answer. It's kind of stupid, but it's true. It's honestly true. It's just like everything should just be localized and easy. Do like the Amish do it. You know what I mean? There should be a veterinarian who works on animals and horses and cows, but also will help you give birth. And when you're sick, you go to them. When you're sick, they'll give you like ivermectin and treat you like a horse. You know what I mean? And you just stay in a stable for a few days. You get really sick, you go to stay in the stable for a few days. And the veterinarian checks up on you when he's done checking up on the foals.